Hello everybody, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. It's about that time. Let's go take that walk and see what's in the fridge today. Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. Today's beer comes from Real Ale Brewing. They're out of Blanco, Texas. This is their Black Quadruple. And Brandon sent me this. This is another one in the Real Ale Brewing beers that he has sent me. He has sent me several of them, and I cannot get them here in Virginia. So don't think they distribute it very far out of their from where they're brewed at. May be mistaken there, but I don't think they're a huge brewery. But they do make some tasty stuff, so we'll see what the Black Quad brings to the table today. This is a bomber. It's a 22 ouncer, a big bottle. And one thing I want to say right off the bat, bottled on October 22nd of 2015. Written right on the back label in white, very easy to read. It's got the 10.5% alcohol on here, unfiltered, unpasteurized. I don't see the IBUs listed on here. It says here on Rate Beer that it's 33, but this is a fairly big beer, being a 10.5%er. Quadruple. I mean, that's what it takes to have a quadruple, I guess. The beer here, it says on Beer Advocate, is a year-round availability, so they must brew this fairly often. Commercial description on this says, once found only by intrepid hunters of our brewers' cuts, Black Quad now deliberately finds its way into our year-round lineup. This ale was inspired by the most August of Abbey brews and is a mystery worth exploring. A bounty of dried fruit, subtle roastiness, and a surprisingly dry finish combined for an ale of delicious dark complexity. All of this is complemented by the spiciness and fruit character provided by our house Belgian yeast strain. Join us in paying tribute to monastic brewing traditions. Food pairings for this style of beer. It says here cheese is buttery, brie, Gouda, Havarti, Swiss, sharp, blue cheddar. And the meat is beef, smoked meat, and game. Glassware to sniffer tulip oversight. Start over. Glassware to sniffer tulip, goblet, or chalice. And it says here can be cellared for long periods of time. 10.5%. I would say a quadruple this would cellared quite a few years, 5, maybe even 10 or longer. So, don't think there's anything else we need to talk about, so let's get the cap off of this bad boy. And see what this quad is all about. And I'm not going to pour it all in the glass. First of all, it wouldn't all fit. Looks more like a cola coming out. It's dark, but it's not pitch black coming out of the bottle. But it's probably going to look pitch black in this glass. Now, the big bulb part's pretty dark, but down in here, a lot of red ruby tinges. I can actually see through this part of the glass. Looks like a dark tea down here. I can't see right through it. Very surprised since it's unfiltered that it's that clear down here in this thin part. About a half finger of head. Let's get a nose on it. Very nice smell. We're getting rich roasted malt. There's some nice sweetness to the back end. Maybe some caramel and toffee, some dark fruits. Smells a lot like a barley wine with the sweetness on the back end. Probably not quite as sweet as the barley wine, but it's got a nice sweetness on the nose. Well, let's give it a taste, see what we got. Cheers. Cheers, Brandon. Wow. The alcohol is very well hidden, guys. For 10.5%, very well made. Definitely getting the dark fruits, plums, dates, raisins, figs. And this one was put in the bottle in October, and I'm doing this on the 23rd of June. So about 8 months in the bottle here. So selling very well already. A great candidate to go in the fridge and keep it 2, 3, 5, 10 years, or even longer if you so desire. And since they're doing this year round, it'd be a great candidate to pick one up now and then pick another one up in a year or two. Do a vertical side by side and see how the older one combines and gets more complex, and the newer one it may taste the same, but more likely it's going to taste a little different once it's been in the bottle that long, depending on how you cellared it. If you had it in a closet or somewhere where it's around 70 degrees or so, the yeast is going to keep working a little bit probably, and it may change the characteristics of the beer. So, but if you got it in the fridge and stuck in a 40-degree fridge like I do, unless I've got them in the closet, the yeast is not going to do a whole lot more. Of course, the beer will probably change a little bit, even though it's at temperature. But the yeast is not going to continue to work. And a lot of times you got to be careful when you're putting beers in a 70-degree area or closet, wherever you're storing your beers. Could get a little overcarbonated if the yeast keeps working. And you might have a gusher or something on your hands if you're not careful. So, well, this is pretty tasty. I mean, it is real tasty. I'm very impressed by how unboozy this beer is for 10.5%. It tells me it's a very well made beer they're hiding that much alcohol. I've had 8%ers a lot more boozier than this guy's. Very well done. Well, let me pour her a glass and sip on this for a little bit and see where it ends up. I'll be right back, I promise. Hey everybody, I'm back. Very well done beer. Very nice quadruple. Alcohol is super well hidden. We're getting some sweet notes on the back end. A nice dark fruit taste, plums, dates, raisins, figs. A little bit of alcohol in the nose now that it's warmed up to room temperature, but yeah, for a 10.5%er, it's very well made. Well, let's do the final chug here. Wow, very delicious. The alcohol in the taste is way lower than you would anticipate. If you were drinking this out in a pub or a bar or whatever, not at home, you could get in trouble drinking this beer because it's a big beer, and you don't taste it. I mean, it's not there. So very well done. Date on the back of the bottle. Would like to see the IBUs on the label somewhere, but it's not there. Just me. It's not that critical on this style of beer, but very tasty. Very well done. I don't think it's quite. It's my opinion now. I don't think it's quite to the A category, but it is kicking on the freaking door, guys. It is. Getting the thunderstorm out there. I'm gonna give this a 7, which is a B plus. Numeric rating on this guy would be probably an 89. I mean, it is right there on there. I'm gonna fly in here. Dead fly. He landed one time too many. What do you think? If I didn't get into the beer, that would really piss me off. Uh, it is a really good beer. It really is. And with my ratings, if you say, "Oh man, that's an A beer," or "You're crazy," I wouldn't argue with that. It is so close with the date on the bottle, and as easy drinking as it was. I wouldn't argue with that. But I've had some better quads than this, and this is really good. This may be a good one to get into if you're trying to get into the quadruples, with the alcohol being as hidden as well as it is in this one. I have had some quadruples that have just a little bit more taste going on than this one has, but it is very tasty. For 10.5%, if you want to get into the hammer lane pretty quick, this one will get you there. Ain't no doubt about it. So that's what I'm gonna give it. 89. Real close to being an A. Real super close. I could just easily give this an 8, which would be an A minus. And wouldn't argue with anybody that says, "Oh man, that's a better beer than what you get rated for." So it's tasty. It is tasty, guys. I would just like to see them put a little bit more information as far as the IBUs on the label than what we're getting. But that's not critical on this beer. I'm probably nitpicking. I probably am nitpicking on this. So, Brandon, thanks again, my friend, my brother, for sending me this beer. Real Ale makes some really tasty beers. It's delicious. It is. I mean, I was on the fence between the 7 and the 8, and I could just as easily give it the 8, which would be an A minus, and just nitpicking right there. Just nitpicking. That's all it is. Could just as easily give it to 8 and put it into the A category. It is so close, guys. It is so close. And over to Beer Advocate, they say 88 in a very good range. I'm pretty close to what they're saying. I'm giving it 89. 90 would be the A minus, so it's right at it. It is right. It's ticking on the door. And Rate Beer doesn't have enough ratings to give it a score, so we got to go with what Beer Advocate says, and what I say is pretty close to what they're saying. 88 from them, 89 from me. Very tasty. Very nice. A great beer. It really is. If you can get this in your neck of the woods, the Real Ale Brewing's Black Quad, very tasty. Worth picking up. Give it a try. And if you have tried it, let me know what you think. Come on back tomorrow, guys. Let's see what we can dig out of the fridge. Rico and Brandon and a lot of the other guys have been sending me some wonderful beers, and we'll see what we can dig out of the fridge tomorrow. Maybe one of those guys. See you then.